Welcome to Talking with the Source, where we bring on well-known and local researchers from around the world to share their experiences and evidence.
Who knows that the moon missions were fake?
As soon as I said, I'll meet you, and she said, oh, darn it, I gotta check the door, make sure the door's locked, because I don't want to leave John's house unlocked. So she goes back to check the door. I go out to my vehicle, and I hear this god-awful scream.
Well, there are 63 races of grays. So most people only think there's one race, and when you say grays, it's a misinformation. There's 63 races. Out of those, one race is a negative extraterrestrial. And what I do is I group them in the negative and the positive. The positive wish to see humanity ascend.
What is your name? My name is Anthony.
Are you ready to unravel the mysteries of this podcast? Join us only on Talking with the Source, live every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and on all podcast listening platforms.
What's going on, everybody? What is up, everybody? My name is AJ Capasso. I'm the host of Talking with the Source, here with my two best friends. One on the right of me, well, left of me on your screen would be Jonathan Keyword of JK47 Paranormal Investigation, and holding it from the bottom is Sir Chris. Sir Chris, you know it.
Sir Chris.
However you want to say it.
How have you guys been?
Good, man. You?
Good, man.
Yeah,
good, you know.
Pretty good.
Hanging in.
Just life, you know.
Oh yeah. Just life. Oh yeah. But anyway, we have an amazing guest on today who's going to tell an amazing story. He was in a coma for a month. He experienced a near-death experience like myself. But only thing is his was like none other. So I can't wait to have him on and have him tell us the story, because there's flips, there's turns, there's twists, there's some crazy things that he experienced, witnessed, and I believe it's very important for his testimony to come out. So let's bring forward Eli. Eli, let's bring him forward. Hold on one second.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me.
Hey, what's up, Eli? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good.
Beautiful
Glad
day
to
today.
have you on. Beautiful day today. Beautiful
Thanks
day.
for having me, everybody.
Very nice.
Yeah. So listen, everyone's dying to know what happened, what's going on. So I'm gonna let you start off the story.
No pun intended there.
No pun intended. You're right.
Okay. Okay. Well, happened in 2021. I contracted COVID. Got sick by my family members. It's okay. It happens. You know. So that I think it was like I'll start to say, you know, like my dad was a Pentecostal pastor. You know, he, you know, I went to church with him. You know, all you know, the kids and everything, and cleaned, you know, went to his services and cleaned, and you know, sang a pulpit and everything. And so I mean, I think I lost track of God when I went to start working when I was older. You know, I just didn't. You know, it's not that I didn't forget about him. I just wanted to see what's out there in the world, you know, and I think I lost track of that. But we'll start. I just want to put that out there, you know.
Yeah, no problem.
So it was a week before that happened. Me and my fiance wants to go, you know, like go have some fun, you know, like we rented a room and had everywhere getting prepared and everything for it. So what happened is I got back home, you know, and my mom was all like, well, we're sick, you know, like might get tested or, you know. So I had my own room. I thought, okay, I'll be fine and everything else. So a couple days later, you know, we're making still our preparations and everything to go out and do what we got to do, you know. I started getting sick. I started getting fever. First it was fever, then it was cough. Then I thought, okay, my sister was like, well, try this medicine out. I took it and I got better and everything else. And so I thought, cool. It was getting better. So I started getting chills. Fever got worse, cough. Give her maybe 4 days around there. My breathing started getting labored. And my sister come knocking on my door. My fiance was just like, well, you need to go check yourself out. I was hard-headed. I thought, you know what? I can knock this out. It ain't nothing. I knew it was COVID. I'm a hard-headed person, so I just got to do what I got to do. So it was 4 days away before we were going to go out and stuff. And my sister come knocking in. She goes, hey, I'm making some breakfast, her signature dish, man, I was just like, okay, cool. So I was like, she was like, damn, dude, you look like shit. Basically, that's my language, you know what I mean? Like, so, and I was just like, I was like, okay, like, I was like, oh man, I didn't feel good. My pain increased because I naturally have arthritis, osteoarthritis, what we call it. So I got that in my back and my leg after 3 surgeries, back surgeries. So I was laying down, I couldn't get up, and I got up, and luckily my mom has a wardrobe out there in the hallway. I live with my fiance now. I used to live with my mom, by the way, but so luckily my mom had a wardrobe, and I was going, man. My legs were giving out. My breathing was just like coffee, like it was just. I was going. My lips were blue. So my sister put out a wooden chair, and I sat down and she called 911. 911 was trying to keep me going alive and everything. And so they're like asking me for my name and everything. So they're like, okay, we got paramedics on the way. They left the door open. A small lady came, and there was a taller black guy came. I guess they're EMTs, and my leg was going. It was just my body was giving out. And then the funniest thing, this short lady goes, "Don't worry, fella, I'll catch you if you fall." And I was like,
no, you won't.
Hell no. So, this little EMT caught me, and I was like, nah. So I landed on the bed, and so they just wheeled me out. I looked at the sky, and I was just like, I couldn't breathe. Got in the ambulance. They first put us oxygen through the nose, a little thing over here, and it did not work. All I know, my eyes were just like going, like it was just. All I know, they started putting me like a little mask on my face, just this little round looking thing with like that,
Yeah, the bag.
Yeah, it's a bag. Yeah.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, just no blackness. It was just blackness, and all I know is, voice was just like, "Forgive me, God. I didn't know this. Everything I done for you and everything else." And kids too, they're just like, "No, God, I didn't mean it." And when you're going, man, you've seen all their sins. You've seen everything they done. Just like it feels like you knew what they did, And all of a sudden, it was just like a quick flash of light, quick, like it was black. And all it seems is darkness. The place you don't want to end up is in darkness. That's the worst is death. All of a sudden, I land on the floor. Boom. When you die, you forget about it. You forget about everything. You forget about, who you were, what you were, just a family, everything. What happened to you, everything. You land on the floor. I died in I died in my spiritual form, basically. I land on the floor. Remind me, spiritual fear is more powerful than physical fear. That means you feel everything 10 times worse, not even 10, maybe like 100 times worse, I hit the floor, boom. I'm in pain, my back, and it was hurting. And I was just like, had my hands over my head, and I was in the hospital room. I seen my body behind me. Remember, when you die, you can't turn your head. You can see everything in the back of your head, the side of your head, I seen myself on the bed, and I was just curled up. And these spirits, evil spirits, were like, I got you, you're mine. But the voice was like triple. It was like one voice mixed in with others. They were like, oh, like no one likes you, no one loves you. Man, she's gonna leave you. You're pathetic, you're evil. Like you're he is good. They were just constantly at me. So then,
Sorry.
I was laying there, and this guy comes into this black nurse came in, and he goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I couldn't talk, but it was telepathy basically. Everything was
Right.
This guy's pretty nice, black male nurse, and in the back, we have those little things where they connect the oxygen and everything. He goes, "Well, you see this little thing is going to connect where you can talk," and I'm just like, I was like, okay, what's going on with me? I didn't know I died. You know what I mean? Like I can't remember what happened, why I'm here. The only thing you're thinking is, wow, what's going on? Like it's just weird. Basically. And on my side there was a little plastic, like a little thing where you hang postcards on,
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think those were prayers for me, and there was this phone I couldn't reach. It was gold. In reality, my fiance kept on calling me, checking on me and everything. And then, but I didn't know that. I mean, I wanted to get that phone because I knew it was her. It was not that. I just felt her. I felt her worry, her fears. But remember that it's just not like it's magnetized over 1,000. Her feelings, and at the same time, I'm getting tortured, physically, mentally by these.
So at this point, you're actually in the coma, and you're experiencing all this through your soul, through your spirit.
And I knew I was on a ventilator. I mean, it showed me I was on a ventilator. I didn't know. How would I know? And they threw me on the ground, and I shit myself, and they're just laughing at me. They're like, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go talk to my friends. I'm gonna go, screw this woman, I mean, honestly, it is. You've seen it. You see them do that. This couple, these nurses were right next to my wall. You can actually see it over the wall. You can see next door what they were doing. And then all these nurses were reading the emails and everything else, and of your private emails of your life and everything. They're just looking at me, laughing and everything, and you could feel their entertainment. You could feel they're mad at you. They just want to just destroy you, And then there's this nurse coming over here. There's this worker, and the feeling of don't trust this guy, because basically he was a pedophile, and he told me not. So someone told me not to trust him, and it was this nice voice, That other voice, went away, you know what I mean? Like it was just a nice voice, just like don't trust him ever, But in reality, I seen these people, when I woke up to at the end, basically, and all the nurses ever taking care of me. So I'm laying there, and in a quick second, it didn't even take a minute. It just boom to another. It was basically I was in a pod, and you were reliving everything, your own fears, So it goes from one scenario to where I'm in this hospital room. It was nice. It was had a cross, always a gold cross, always a gold. It was shiny. Now the room was padded. It was just like you being in a crazy ward. And then I'm just laying there and everything else. And first it was a dance hall, and in this dance hall, they were just coming in. Oh my God, you made it! Can't you feel the love? It was just, and you're like, okay, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Like,
Did you recognize any of these people? Were they?
Yeah,
were
at the
they
end, yeah, every one of them, and they're like, "Can't you feel the love?" Mind you, my eyes were closed. I was on a ventilator. While before I get to that, my mom, she told me that they put me in a ventilator, and they told me I was fighting it because I didn't want to be in one, but I know I had to because they want to save my life. They were going to send me to Austin, Texas, in a flight, but they told me that I had to stay in Cairo, Texas, to be a treatment there, because if they would have sent me to Austin, I would have died in reality. So I was there. So I'll go back to, I was under, I had double pneumonia. That's the reason why they put me on a ventilator. And I was 15% of life at that time.
Wow.
And I was laying there. I was experiencing just fear, sadness, and um, nurses came in and everything, and they were just talking about their lives. They were talking about oh my God, yeah, my fiance and I moved down here and everything else, and we live in a small wooded area, over here in Texas somewhere. And she was talking about her husband and everything. So, but everything on the other side was broken down. Like you had wires over your face and everything. Like
Wow.
lights were off, everything. Like basically, it was like being in an asylum that it was broken down, basically.
Wow.
So then so I was in this dance hall and you see all these nurses and everything, but they were making you feel welcome, like you were in heaven, basically. It was, to me, it was more like if I would have accepted that love, that sort of love, I would have stood there, I would have welcomed it in my heart, in my soul,
So do you think if you would have accepted that, maybe you would have passed on too? Maybe they were the loved ones pulling you in and saying, okay.
Then I remember my leg kept on going off the bed, and I remember they're like, well, you need to keep his leg on, but that leg was weak at the time. So so then I remember, throwing my because I have AFOs, because I have foot drop, I use braces on every time I walk somewhere, because foot drop is where your foot don't go up when you walk, your toes. So I remember throwing the braces. It was on a stage, and there was all these chairs, and it's as real as you are in your room. That's how the environment was.
Yeah.
I remember seeing my daughter like going from door to door and everything else, and I remember seeing this. It's weird, even the smell. I felt like it was a dance hall, whatever it was, and I remember seeing the nurse outside the window. That same nurse that moved from Texas and everything. I see all these nurses. Like it was just a regular day. I can even tell what they're having for lunch, basically. Whataburger. Like things from the house. Salad or whatever. Soda water they got from home and everything. So it went from there. It was like a quick come here. God was like, come here, in a sweet voice. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting in this chair. It's like a chair. It was like a fold, like it was just like one of those comfortable chairs, whatever.
Like a recliner type.
Recliner, yeah. So I was sitting there. All of a sudden, I hear a voice like, "Don't move, don't move." Remember, telepathy. It was not actually, like we're talking to each other right now. And all of a sudden, it was like, don't move. They're gonna take care of you. But this voice, it was the most lovingest voice you can ever feel. It was love. It was caring. That was God. That was God looking after me. And I remember turning my eyes, and I turned them over here inside my head. I was just like, okay, I seen like the ventilator machines. And then I was like, what's going on? And beside me, I was put into this film. You know how in biology class you have they see what kind of germs they are and everything.
Oh yeah.
Into this film, and then this one guy, I guess he was the dad of my sister, the dad of the person that was marrying my whatever. My sister was getting married, so he put me in this golf bag, and I seen the big old stadium she was getting married in and everything. And, I felt like I was nothing. My family made me feel I was like nothing, basically. So it took me back to a garage. It was a hospital room garage. It was weird. I remember seeing the steps. There was like beside me, there was like a step going up just to get into my room, but it wasn't. In reality, it wasn't. It wasn't a hospital. It wasn't a hospital room, but it was like a cemented, like it was like a garage, basically. And when I'm looking outside, like when you look where we have a garage, basically the doors up and everything, and you see like a mesh area, black mesh, and you can see people living their lives, driving around, going to stores and everything. So then I was laying there, all the wires were on my face and everything, basically just you're in a ventilator, basically,
Yeah.
So all of a sudden there's this doctor goes, well, I actually got up from my bed. I got up and I was on this washer and dryer. I could see what was behind me. There was nails. There was everything was organized. Nails, hammers, everything. And there was three washer and dryers. There's this TV on the opposite side of the room. 2 sofas that were they were black. They were leather black. And this voice goes into this TV and says, you know, like he was like basically like coughing and breathing like me, making fun of me. And he told this presenter on TV, hey, you know, like, you know, he's here with me till the end. You know, he's not going anywhere. You know, look at him. And this nurse comes in, starts cleaning out my all the sickness out of the little tube thingy they have. You know, when he had COVID. And I thought, okay, what's going on? You know, like, where am I at? But remember this: you don't think about you don't think about what you don't think about what's going on, why you were there, what happened, what you ate yesterday. When you're there, that's your new reality. You know, you're stuck there basically. You know, you feel like that's your new reality now, and it's scary. I mean, like, you know, it's basically like this is your reality, but you're in a new one. You know, I went from there to a Native American. I went into a cave. You know, God was like, come here. He was showing me. And in this cave, he put me there. And the wall crumbles, just crumbles like that. And you could feel you could feel like all the what do you call it? All like the stuff falling off the, you know, like it's crumbling, you know, everything's falling off, hitting your face and everything. Like
okay.
You could feel it. You could feel the wind. You could feel like the dust and everything flying at you, you know? So then all of a sudden, this guy, I don't know what he's telling you. He's talking some kind of language. I don't know. And I'm seeing in the distance, there's this trees, water. I mean, it's beautiful, man. I mean, it's basically talking to you, you know? I mean, the water you see like in Fiji and stuff, no. This water is so clear, you know? I mean, this time you can feel the love in it, you know? You can feel it dancing. You can feel it just a smile of love, you know? And then
this was in the cave that you were still in?
Yeah, it was in this cave. I think I sent AJ something about it. You still have it, AJ?
Yeah, it's on my phone. I won't be able to put it up on here, but yeah, it's basically a cave, and it's basically something in Arizona where you would see like a hole through, like it's basically like a looking glass through this hole, and it's an amazing cave that you could see right through it, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, well,
and that's what you were seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I got a picture. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I want to see, and this is what I did. This is what I did visualize. And this weird. I found it on Twitter. I was looking through, and I was like, oh, that's it. You know,
right. And are you Native American then?
No.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, maybe I had something to do with that then. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that picture. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I was just thinking about it. I was having this vision, and I was thinking, it's Sedona, Arizona. There's an archway standing in the middle of nowhere that some have called a gateway to God. According to Native American folklore, people have walked through this fascinating rock formation, immediately disappeared. There is about the legend range from it being a time portal to it being a gateway to heavens or an alternate dimension. Would you walk through it? You know, well, I feel like that wasn't meant for me yet. You know, and
so real quick, Nicole wanted to ask you this question here. Did you have any psychic abilities after your near-death experience?
I did. I mean, I did, and it's kind of crazy. Like, I feel like, I mean, I know. AJ wasn't feeling good. You know, we're talking about here, but I'm not saying but I thought we can still gonna have this because I know that you were, you know, I'm not gonna say, you know, I'm just saying, you know, I know you weren't feeling good, and I thought, I was gonna ask you, you know, we could schedule for tomorrow, you know, or I mean, it's just a feeling of knowing, you know, when someone's not feeling good, or you know, or if someone's gonna come around the corner, I know who it is, you know. Basically, it's just the knowing of things, you know. it's kind of crazy how I felt that, and and I felt that AJ wasn't feeling good, and I'm just like, okay,
no, don't worry, I'm feeling fine. It's just aggravation with people.
Okay,
that's all.
I was just saying. I feel it's kind of weird. I felt that, and I was just like,
no, yeah. Yeah, I know. You're not the only friend in this room right now that feels stuff like that. John's the same way, man. He'll call me up randomly and be like, dude, are you serious? And I'll be like, what? And then he'll just tell me what it is. And I'll be like, how'd you even know?
Yeah, I know. But it's sort of like that, like a knowing. It's a knowing, If someone asks me something, I'll tell you how I feel. I don't know how other people feel about it, but I'll tell you,
That's fine.
Well, they call that empathy. Like I'm an empath, so like I'm like a human lie detector, like and AJ is as well, and I believe that's your gift as well. I think with traumatic experiences through life, such as NDEs or going to war or stuff. I think it activates some part in your brain where you're able to feel these sensations. And I think with training and meditation that you can develop it even stronger, to where you get these abilities.
But is it right by God? I'm kind of like weirded about that because I'm just like, I want to know if it's because I don't want to end up where I'm going to end up again.
No, so here's the thing. So this is I talked about this on my show on Friday, and everybody has a god. Okay, so in Asia, in India, they have Buddha, which is their god, and in the Middle East they have Muhammad, which is their god, and we have Jesus.
False. But he was a prophet. It's false. Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a prophet. He was not their god.
Yeah,
Allah is their god.
Whoever they pray to, Allah.
Well, get it right, damn it, Jesus.
I'm just saying, it's all one source. So what I believe, I believe in source. I believe, if the world's going to end, we're all praying to the same source to help us through this moment that we need help with, so with that in respect, we're all praying to that same source. You just call it different names.
It's a higher power, some people call it.
Yes, exactly.
We're talking with the source.
Yeah, we're talking to the source. Okay, so I'm back in this cave. I remember going in. There was this before that wall crumbled. There was this river, same kind of river. It was beautiful. It was like awesome. Loving, caring. And there was this 17th century boat. I felt it was 17th century. Old boat. It was little. There was something flying in the air. I don't know what it was. And I remember. Okay, I was talking to a Native American. He turns to me, and all of a sudden, I look back. And there was this wooden, was a rock platform, and he falls back. He was all like dressed in attire of Native American. He laid there, and that's it. He was gone. This lady with black hair comes in, and she goes, "You need to eat. You need to eat." And it was getting cold in there. Like, mind you, it was getting cold. It was getting icicles, and then all of a sudden, she, God was like, "Come here," takes me, I end up hanging from, it was like metal, like metal pipes, but with the metal pipes, they were all melted into my arm,
Wow.
And I was just like this. I was up like this, and people were spraying me. I was done. I was crying. I was just like, "What's going on?" That's all I just wanted some peace. I just wanted that. I was thirsty. I wanted that water of love and peace. I wanted it so bad. I was thirsty. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I remember looking to, I think it was like my left. Yeah, no. Yeah, my left. And there was this clock with metal bars on there. And the clock wasn't going. There's no time or space in there. There's nothing. Nope. It's just your own. It's just your own realm, basically. It's your own realm where you're living in. And all of a sudden, they're spraying me with hot water, laughing and having a good time. The ground smelled like sewer, and it was like black and gooey. It was gross, I when with me, I was a viewer. I feel like I was a viewer. My legs, I didn't really feel my legs. I mean, all I know, I felt the pain. The pain intensified when I was hanging there. I mean, all of a sudden, these things threw me. It just threw me in the cell with these two other people. I didn't even know they were there. That I knew they were there, but I didn't really know they're there. I'm kind of weird, but I knew they were there. I felt them. At this time, God took away my fear of everything of what was going on. What was spraying me, Shannon?
Yeah.
What was spraying me? There was just these two black things.
So like a black shadow type entity.
Yeah,
thing.
but they were thick. They were thick, nasty. But you could see their faces, not face, but you could see their smiles, like, black eyes.
Oh, so you could like see teeth, like kind of a smile.
Yeah, they were just laughing.
Ew.
So basically, it's just force. This force just threw me. Oh man, it hurt so bad. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? I said to him, what's going on? I can't do this no more. I can't. I'm all tired of it. And I mean the pain. I mean you're in the spiritual warfare. Between evil and good. I get up. He gives me enough strength to get up. I'm walking down this corridor. It was nasty. And there was this clipboard, but from there, I didn't know what was going on. I think God just blocked me from that, So then it goes from that. I call this vision Eminem. Okay. I was sitting in this chair. Everything was just normal. Like I'm in this living room, but I'm in this chair. I feel like I'm in this chair. I didn't feel my legs. I didn't feel nothing. It's just me. It's just your spirit, basically. And then all of a sudden, like, I seen this. I seen this television set, and there was stuff going on in the TV and everything. On your left side, there was this big old M&M jar. You know what I mean? Like full of M&Ms. And there was a counter. It was I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the damn kind of as garnet. I don't know, whatever. But anyways, it was Marlboro. And then you see this, and then you see everything like the stove, dishwasher. I mean, everything, like, detail, you can smell what they cleaned it with. You can smell like this thing you sprayed it with, air spray or whatever, air freshener and everything. And you see the coffee table in the back. But remember, when I look back, you're looking back at your head. You can't turn your head. You know what I mean? Like, I'm spiritual.
Yeah, because you're seeing out of the sides and the
360.
back.
Yeah. So then you see the upstairs and everything else, and you see this garage open. And I'm just like, that's weird. And then I'm looking, and all of a sudden, I was seeing this cop, this female cop, came from her face crying. And she goes, it's your fault. It's your fault that you died and my daughter's gone. It's your fault you ended up here. I want my daughter back. She was just tearing up. And she turned me around the chair. There was this playground outside, And I was just like, what? So then all of a sudden, like, I end up in this, there's ice. There was this ice fishing. People were ice fishing. Remember, it was going from one clip to another. It doesn't make sense. I understand.
Like you're changing channels.
Yeah. Like a lot of people are just like, I'm going from one. Well, that's what it is. I mean, I'm not going to add something that's not
right
for you guys.
Are you recognizing any of these places you're seeing? Like, like the M&M jar. Was that like in your house or grandma's house?
No.
Okay.
Well, I understand. A lot of people say it's like different lives I had.
Okay, yeah, that could be. I was just curious, like if that's grandma's house. So I'm having a pleasant memory to try and keep me going, or.
Yeah.
It could be even if it's tied in with the bad stuff.
What did you take you? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, some of these visions I talk to other people, and that's what they experienced that in their lives. There's like maybe 3 of them,
Okay.
But they said that was me, and that was my struggle. So I was actually living theirs.
So the empathy thing, like we were talking about earlier. Then
I didn't know that though until I actually came back.
Right. Awesome. So sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay. I go there. I'm people were just ice fishing, and there was this group of people. This guy, I sat next to him. There was this big old hole in the ground, and there was a couple trailer homes and everything. Well, this was my family member, my fiance's family members. I didn't know that until I actually explained her grandfather, by tea. You know what I mean? I was talking to him, and he would just tell me, he goes, "This is a lovely place." You know what I mean? When you go, you come back here. It's lovely. There's welcome me in, try to give me food, some fish to eat. It was lovely. They have drinks in the cooler. I didn't know what they were, and so then
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, we sat there, felt like it was eternity, and to him, he always loved having a tugboat. He always wanted one. He showed me in a little cloud, and then all of a sudden, it's like, come here, and their heads wet, like they felt like they knew it was a vision. They knew it. So then all of a sudden, like I went from there, and there was a nail in my foot. I was in the back van.
Ooh.
A nail, and I was like, the pain intensified. It felt like it was just people were just like, putting in my foot.
Oh.
It was bleeding, and then outside the window, but in that van there was wood and everything else, all kinds of nails. It was like a person that actually, did maintenance basically van.
Oh, okay.
And then I looked out, and there was this mansion in the hill. They were all having fun and everything else. They all heard my tears. I knew it. I felt them. They were just having a good time. So then from then, God just like, come here. I was on this boat. It was gold. Oh my God, it was gold. You know how the Titanic, they had the, where the people that were, messing with the machinery to make the boat. Well, you know what I mean? Where they go.
Yeah. The boiler room and stuff.
No, it was the captain. And the captain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
like running the ship and stuff.
Oh yeah. But it was
the bridge.
Everything was gold. I loved it there. It was amazing. But you could feel outside it was really freezing cold. You could feel it. You could feel that too as well. So then I'm laying there. They're like, "Welcome home, buddy. You made it." My mom was like, "Hey, get this guy a drink. He deserved it. And I was like,
"Wow,
what?" I was like, "Why am I on the boat? I mean, what's going on? You went through all that, but there was always a cross on the wall. That meant God." Sounds like you had a memory from another story. Yeah, exactly. Maybe.
Yeah, I said he jumped timelines.
Yeah,
that's what I say.
Yeah,
because in that other dimension that we go to, once we pass on, there's no space and time because time is man-made. It's just a measurement of moments,
right?
And when you get to that plane, you're able to go wherever you want.
So after you've had your new near-death experience, all of you that have, my theory is that you've broken that barrier now and you've come back. So now you don't have that, whatever you want to call it, the wall, the door, or whatever.
Oh, the veil.
Yeah,
the veil. Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember its name for a second. Yeah, you've kicked that to the side, and that's no longer there. And so, that's why all three of you are so awesome at what you do.
Yeah, when you're there, like I tell you, you deserve it. I feel like you deserve to be there. From everything you in your past lives or whatever you say, I don't believe in that, but whatever. I mean, you deserved it. You wasted your time in life by doing what you did, so you're there living that life over and over again.
Right.
And you're thinking, I should have put what's right with what's wrong. I guess. Sort of like,
Right. So how long were you in the coma?
For a month. Yeah.
For 1 month. So all this is happening.
Yeah.
From day to day, within a month, you've experienced all these different visions and adventures in the afterlife. That's crazy.
Well, check this out, right? So when Sam connected with my father, remember, he was on life support for 5 days before I took him off. Well, I asked her, "Were you stuck in your body, or were you in the afterlife already? Like, how did that work?" And he told the medium, and then came through the spirit box, said the same thing. that he was back and forth between the afterlife and here. So I'm sure there was times where you could be back in your body. You could probably hear everybody around you.
Yes.
And then there was times where you're back in the other dimension, wherever you were, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
It's wild because, like, you can see man, when you're in a mental, you can hear everything. Sometimes you can hear what's going on, so sometimes you can't. I mean, it's just a feeling of people. What people are doing to you. Like if someone's, like if you're laying there and they turn you around, because they have to do that for bed sores.
Yeah.
But in reality, in your death state, something else is happening. Basically, that's what they say. But yeah.
So do you think every time they adjusted you or something, that's when you would switch to a new place, or
maybe, I don't know. I mean, they try to come up with different scenarios. They try to put it in your head with just like, hey, none of that happened, basically.
Right. You're just a dream.
Yeah, it's just a dream.
Yeah. Or a nightmare, depending on the.
That scenario went to, I call it brain surgery, but they didn't even do the brain surgery. But so I was laying there, I was looking up, and I was seeing this chandelier was it was a round circle, wooden, thing, and that kind of went away, and there was this like little circles, like a little circle. It was like knickknacks, but it was like people basically. And it was a round thing going like a whirlwind. It was going, but it was just doing that. And then these nurses, they come in, and they're like, Mr. Alonzo, we found out what the problem was. Do you think there's? I don't know about that. I don't know.
So one of my theories on shadow people, the Hat Man, it's because ever since the last 2 months, I've been meditating with frequency and stuff. I see black orbs just floating by and stuff, and I think that's how they present themselves, because they're absorbing the light waves that are
in the environment in the room, or it could be
they're absorbing it like a black hole, kind of.
Like I was telling AJ, like we were talking on the phone, and like it's like when someone dies, and they think the spirit thinks they're going to go to another realm, but God will decide where you go. If you were a bad, evil person in that room and you did something bad in that room, kill somebody, God will put you back in that environment. He will suck you up like a what do you call it? Like a vacuum thing.
Yeah.
He will have placed you there. I felt it. It was weird.
To relive it, until you feel the remorse, maybe.
Yeah. Like he sucks you back. It's like God saying, no, you killed these people in the room. You were all this bad all this bad feelings you have towards this person and these people, and I'm not gonna let you go into heaven and corrupt it. So you need to live your existing life there and feel the way how you felt, how you treated other people there in that environment. And that's why when those spirits, they move, when they move up, when new people move in, they feel that energy. That's the energy that's in that space.
And it's interesting that you say that, because maybe that's why there's residual haunting, of the same spirit walking down the same path.
I'm sorry I changed it about shadow people, but maybe that's the shadow.
No, it makes perfect sense, and that's what we like to do here on the show is gain other theories and
that's a
kind
feeling.
of
That's a feeling that I know.
No, you were there, man. You were out of your body for a month, man.
It's odd. It's odd seeing that. It's odd. When you die and you end up like that, it's odd. You're like, where am I? Like, why didn't I pass? Why didn't I go? And no wonder why they get mad, because they're confused. Or why didn't I cross to the other side? Was I that bad of a person? And when they feel that way, they're like, whoa, it's just like when people pass. Okay, I'll show you this before I talk about the surgery one. I was thrown in another, I want to say another story. thing. It was like a vision. I'll call them
Another
vision.
chapter, another
Another
channel.
chapter. Okay, there was this black male and this girl. She was like maybe 12. You see this glass. You see one person working on the computer and another person on the computer, right? Old computers, and all of a sudden, somebody tells me, because they're going back and forth, walking in the garage, and this person told me, goes, that's why they're there. They deserve it. You know it. You feel it, don't you? Basically. Wow. And you can feel the energy with those people in there. Like they did something. They're stuck there. They're constantly in a loop. Basically, it's like I was saying, when I come back, I'm going to judge them. I don't know what they did. He didn't tell me what they did. They were just walking back and forth constantly. But you can see their energy, just like they're tired of it. They want to get out of that existence.
Yeah.
No, one of my favorite stories from AJ was when he had an astral projection, and he fell asleep, and he was able to tell his who was it, your grandma and your uncle, or
my grandmother and my cousin?
Yeah, he was able to say everything they were saying in the other room, and he was asleep in his room, and he was amazing. Able to tell him everything, and being on that plane. I mean, all these different realms or chapters, whatever you want to call it, it's just amazing that you went through this, and you're able to sustain that memory. Because if you think how hard it is to remember a dream, the fact that you were asleep for a month, and you were able to remember all this,
like AJ, you had that vision, right? You had that, God showed you, right? Like it's like a memory. It's like you go into the store buying a pizza, and you're like, oh shit, I remember I get to buy that pizza next month because I like that pizza. It's a memory. It's a placed memory that's not real. I mean, you don't think about it every day, but let's say if you're looking at a TV show, you'll remember it. You'll remember that vision, like it was pristine clear, So let's get back to, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead, man. This is your show, man. We're just little ticks on the back of the dog, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Now that we talk, it's like brain surgery. Okay, I'm laying there. And they're like, okay, we know what's wrong. And they visualize it. They like, you can see, and I'm not looking at the computer they're on. You can see what's going on. Okay, we found, it was like, I think frontal lobe. I don't know where I was, right here, right? They're like,
right there, third eye.
They're like, okay. And then they show me another clip, like a vision, sort of like a cloud. And it shows me walking out the HEB. It's like a grocery store in Texas. They show me walking out, me getting hit by a car. I could feel the impact. I hit the ground, like the smell of the cement and everything, you smell everything. And I'm just laying there, it's like, this is how you died. Don't you remember? And I'm just like, you don't remember what happened? You don't remember why? I mean, you do not remember how you die. It's weird. You don't. I mean, you're in this realm where it's a new realm to you, like all your place memories are gone.
That is true, because I didn't remember how I died either. I just knew when I came back how I died, but I wasn't thinking about it when I was over there. That's weird that you said that. I never thought about that.
It's you're right here. You're right here. Like if you had your past lives, you're not going to remember that because you're right here. You're in this time loop. You're in this place. So I'm laying there, and I mean, I can see like a TV set. I can see like a big TV. I feel like I was there before in life. I was there. It's like, I feel like a hospital room, but it wasn't. And you can see this black cushion sofa thingy with little bars on the side. You can see a nurse working over here in the restroom. You can see a downstairs going. Now remember, in that vision, I was constantly there, and I escaped on a blimp. It's kind of weird, but in this blimp, I guess they were having a party that I was going to die, basically. I could see all these cars going into the garage. They were happy I was going to die, basically. They were happy. And so I escaped, and I was in this blimp, in this blimp there was like TV sets and everything, and, you know, like 1950 TV sets, you know. And I was going, I landed, and I was like, the feeling I'm home. And the feeling of, you know, when you go home, you're like, oh, finally, it's a long day at work, you know, I'm home.
Yeah.
So I get off, you know, I'm not walking, but I glide, you know, and all of a sudden, like, remember, guys, everybody's death is going to be different. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm walking, I see a nurse. I'm not a nurse. I see a doctor, his white long thing the doctors wear, you know.
Gown, yeah.
And walking and everything
Like
else.
the surgery gown, like they would tie around the waist.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff.
I see the triage, the nurse station, and everything. I see my mom on my right hand side. She goes, oh, I got to go back to work. Oh, I can't believe he made it. And I'm like, you know, it was a trickery. You know what I mean? So I thought, fine, then I'll just go back. So then all of a sudden I'm going back, you know, and all of it's kind of weird how I just remember this. I see a dumpster, you know, it was like a quick memory right now. I see a quick dumpster, you know, and people were just throwing away stuff, and it was a city, you know, and I think I was trying to escape them also, but I can't remember. That's kind of weird how I'm remembering little bits right now. So then I go from there. I'm in this big old wheelbarrow, you know, in this trash, and I'm trying to get out. But reality is, you know, when you're in a ventilator, they tie your hands down so you don't. If you wake up, you can't pull it out. You know.
Yeah.
So I was stuck there. I was like, please help me. I want to get out of here. Help me, please. And people were just, it felt like it was a subway, not a subway store. It was in the subway thing. And they were eating, they're just making fun of me. They're like, you know, you're stuck here. You ain't going anywhere. Basically, you just feel their mind. You're like, look at this pathetic guy. He's just laying there saying that. You know, whatever, dude. And basically, and so this guy opens the door. I somehow leave there, you know. And I'm in this hospital room. I'm laying there. I feel like I have a beard, you know, and I can say it now because, you know, I talked to the guy already. He kind of like, you know, blocked me already. Really, you know, that was really him in life, you know. So he told me I could tell my story, you know, his story. He was a truck driver, you know. He had some family members, some family stuff going on or whatever. And he just lost it, you know. And in his past life, he was trucker. He went into a truck station, a gas station, whatever, truck stop, whatever. And so he was in the bathroom, and he was putting gas. And I could see all these memories when I was in his bed when I was him. There was a black nurse right here, black female nurse, and in the floor it was all black. You could see the window, and you could see the light coming from the ground, you know, because the window. And they're like, "We'll take care of you. Don't worry." And the nurse says, but I was that guy. And then this spirit in his mind was like, "If I get you out of here, you know, we'll let you go. We'll let you live. We'll let you live your life." So then all of a sudden, like, you know, I'm in this courthouse scenario. You know, if it smelled like a courthouse, it felt like a courthouse. Everything you felt when you walk into the courthouse, like you're in trouble, basically. You know. So then on second landing in this room, you can see a black shadow. Black shadow. Yep, black shadow. Yep. And this black shadow, it's a nasty black shadow, but they make you do things you don't really do in real life, basically, you know. They're really conniving little things, you know. I say little things because they're really little things. So they just come off as big because they want to frighten you. So anyways, so it tells me they put a fake gun in my hand. They say, if you kill this guy, we'll let you go. So then I'm about to shoot this guy from whatever, another country or whatever, and these cops bust in, and they're like, "Ha ha ha ha! You think we're gonna let you go?" I mean, their eyes were black as black, and they were just laughing at me. That's you know, you could see their uniforms. I mean, everything was just feel like it was real. You know, the cologne, the nasty breath. I mean, it was disgusting. You know, cologne. You can see everything. Yeah, you can smell everything on them. Everything. These bad instincts. they know how to trick you that it's real. It's not. They can add in more things than you could think of. The boots they were wearing, you can see the boots, you can see the shirt, you can see everything. You can see like the what do you call
Scars on their hands, or like
everything,
everything is so
everything,
detailed.
everything you could think of, So it goes from that, goes like, come here. Who takes me over here? And I call this family betrayal. I felt like I felt like this. I felt like my mom was in cahoots with these nurses, and in this scenario where I was at, they were pouring some liquid down my mouth, and I mean I could feel the calculations. I could feel it was cold, and it was a feeling, was surreal feeling, and all of a sudden, like, they put me on the shelf like a doll, like a teddy bear doll, like whatever it was. And they're like, it's okay, you'll feel better soon, you'll get out of here, don't worry. I felt like there was always someone beside me, a God, he was showing me all this stuff. Basically, I was going through my own hell, basically. And you see all these certain people that will pay in life later that they're paying now. And you see them just like having a good time, like it's some gathering that, I'm in this place, basically, like they're having fun at my own expense, I could see the fan next to me. I could see a refrigerator. I feel like I was in Austin because it was like this big old, it was a glass, but it was going up like a pyramid, and it was snowing that year. And I was basically in life. My mom didn't treat me very well. She uses people. She puts them in the back of the shelf whenever they need them, basically, and then God told me, don't trust those people. Love them, but don't really trust them. It's just that feeling of be careful around them. Still love them. Still love the ones they're your family, but stay at a distance, So
let me ask you this real quick. So your empathic abilities, did you have this before you went into the coma?
No.
And when you came out after, you're able to feel kind of what people were feeling and kind of thinking, or
yes.
That's interesting.
The whole time I was in there, I felt them. I felt it was like a party. I felt like it was just like oh my God, like, from there, I'm in water. I'm floating in this river. I'm going. That's it. I was going, but I was leaning over a trash can, one of those metal trash cans with little holes in them.
Yeah.
So, I see my brother, my mom, my sister. I see what kind of clothing they had, and I told them later on when I woke up, and they were shocked. But they were outside a hospital bay, and they were talking to these two female nurses, heavy-set nurse and a skinny nurse, both Hispanics, and they're like, "Well, you need to put a trait in them, because I have a trait right here on my throat, and they need to put a trait to so we can make them, you can feed them, live, well, he can live." They're like, "Well, we don't think so, we don't think we're gonna do that because we don't think he's gonna make it, basically."
What?
We heard them, and I was floating this water. I was floating away already, and then this big old hand goes, "Come here, what's God? Come here." He stood me up like in this pool that was up to my knees, and it was communication basically. Like I could feel my phone. Had the phone in my hand, it was gold, and it was like these strings coming out of my phone, and you could feel like these wavelengths going in my head. Just like it was weird. It was scary. Basically, it was like it was weird.
Yeah. Like a puppet, like strings, like a puppet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. So then, somebody sits me down. There's a pulpit right there, small pulpit. There's behind me. There's just like it's a storage basically, and there was a hook on my shirt like this, black hook. I see from my left, my parents, my mom, sister, whatever, brother came to see me, but they were going the opposite way because my room was jammed. one of the nurses was jamming it, trying to jam it and everything. So I tried to get up, and I remember there was this hook kept on tugging me not to get up, and I kind of like shit myself, and all of a sudden, like, it took me to a town. In this town, we were snowed in, small little town. We had a tower, like with a clock on it, brown buildings, and I went to this building, and it was a clothing store. My daughter was running around like with her head chopped off, whatever how you say it. Just running around like it was nothing, so enjoying the time. And this pulpit, big old pulpit, I looked up and I see this guy who was pointing out like this, but in reality, like a couple of months when I moved in with my fiance, like I got a hold of my friend, and I was trying to check on both of them, and one of my friends had died 2 months before I came down with COVID, and he died of COVID and cancer. So I didn't know he died, and he was there in afterlife with me. I'd seen him, but I just thought it was another vision, basically.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird how he died a couple of months before I went to the hospital.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that, that went into like just back into my room. I was just like laying there again, wires over my face and everything. There was this golden retriever who was breathing on me, and it was just this comfort feeling of, don't get up, basically, just relax, and then these nurses were just, they're like, I felt they were training nurses. They were going in the hallway and everything else. They just all looked at me, with these weird eyes, black looking eyes, sorry. And sorry, this is not in order, and then this Oriental girl, little small girl, I seen her in life too, basically in the hospital too, but she jumped on me and started tearing out my throat, and she was and she goes, I gotta do this, stand still, and I seen my brother's kids like with a divider with their laptops or whatever, and it was just awful, man. It was awful experience, and it goes from that to I was laying in bed and everything, and I seen this Apache helicopter, circling the whole complex,
Yeah.
And I was frightened. I was just like, what's going on? What's going on? And I seen this red button, and I wanted to press it, and I couldn't move my hands, and that was like scary, yeah. I remember these things, I went from one vision to another where these things were attacking my fiance and what do you call it?
You basically experienced so much that it was just, I mean, for a month being in a coma, that's a very long time. So all the things that you experienced was well beyond what you can only imagine to be. So I know we can go on for days talking about this. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, but we'll have to have you back on and have you talk about some more.
Absolutely.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, man, for what you went through, man, God bless you, man, and I'm glad you're here.
Well, I'll tell you one more vision and we'll go. Okay. And
have you ever thought of writing a book about your story?
Oh yeah, I did, but it's still, I don't know how, but what kind of channels I go through about that. It's kind of hard,
My mom's wrote a couple books. I can probably get you some help.
It's long. Yeah, cool. It's long. It's. I mean, there was this, but the last vision, I was laying there. My family got caught out by doing some messed up stuff. So then I was there. I was laying in bed and everything else, and God, something approached me, and I was like, God, I'm tired. Take me home. Basically, and it was this warm feeling, this love. I knew it was God. I knew it was. And when I was looking behind him, I couldn't look behind him. I felt like I was, but I was when I was there and everything else. I was laying there. and I seen his sandal in his feet, and most lovingest experience ever, and he was telling me to get up, family, just like your new family comes first more than anything. And he had told my mom, and like he showed me a cloud, and he was telling my mom, he was like, don't, stop walking away from him, basically, help your son out, you know what I mean? And I remember he showed me this Native American beat, and it was that mixture with old time horns, like those horns were just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, and
yeah.
it was a loving experience, and all of a sudden he goes, "Are you ready to go home?" And I woke up and I was at what did I say, 5% of life?
Yeah.
They were about to unplug me. Woke up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I have a question for you, if I may.
Okay.
I may. Why do you think you got brought back, or you came back?
I don't know. I don't know. Like I
think it's to tell your story, man. That's what Spirit's telling me. You need to write the book.
Yeah.
You need to,
there you go.
Well, basically, it's my fiance was contacting, was worried about me too. She's contacting me, she was actually texting me and everything on my phone, knowing it was off and everything. And I think that's what brought that was reality for me.
Yeah.
That little portal, basically.
Yeah, you had that connection.
Yeah, the connection with her, yeah. And that's why I'm back, you know what I mean? Like I'm back because I'm supposed to be with my family and raise my family in a good way, and
there you go.
I went from hell and back. I know it wasn't burning down there, or you know what I mean? Like
the title of your book right there. Right there.
There you go.
The hell and back. And follow up. Did it do like on movies when you woke up? You know how you always do the little
well, when you woke up, you wake up, you're like, you know what I mean? You're out of, when you're in the hospital, you're like, well, you won't just wake up. You're like,
I had close things, but nothing ever like that. So
like when you land in your body, you're like, it's like, all that pain. I cried to God. And I was like, why didn't I go home with you? Basically, my thoughts.
Right.
And I remember they're playing like all these crime shows. I was like, I didn't want to see that. I want to watch the cartoons. After everything, I'm like, come on now. Like, shoot, I mean.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Eli, thank you so much, man, for coming on. I want to have
you come on
again because there's so much more that we have to talk about. Me and you got a chance to go over all of it on the phone, so that's why I wanted these guys to hear it.
Yeah,
but,
it was amazing, buddy. That was simply amazing.
Amazing story.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
No,
anytime. And my saying was, when I was laying there too, my saying was, if you could just listen, you can hear me.
Love that.
So true.
Love that.
That's why,
that's the truth.
Some people use all this equipment and stuff like that. It's like, just go in there, just hear me, man. I'm going through some stuff too, but, just understand me if I'm going through my own hell while I'm trying to entertain you guys, basically,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, amen to that.
And you also think too, those double spirits you hear on there, maybe that's those evil spirits trying to not have them say what's going on their side, because you basically got to live your own life before you cross over. They're not going to tell you everything, what it feels like to be on their side. Every death is experience. I mean,
that's what I tell everybody. Every episode I'm on, you got to love yourself before you can love others. You gotta truly love yourself, before you can pass it on. So
it's terrible. It's something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy to go there. All I say is be right by your God. Be right by God. Because you never know when you never know when you're gonna live the next day or not. Basically.
Exactly. It could happen at any moment. Any moment.
Yeah.
Tuesday, 9:47 a.m.
Yep.
Well, you jinxed yourself.
I know, right? So, well, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Eli, awesome
Eli,
story.
Amazing.
Thanks,
absolutely freaking awesome.
All right, my friend. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on. We will definitely talk soon, brother. And tell the family I said hello.
Okay, man. You too.
God bless.
See ya.
So, guys, tell me what you think, man.
That dude needs a book.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. Spirit's telling me he needs to tell his story. Yeah.
I was thinking that like 5 minutes in, I was like, okay, this ain't short. This guy needs a book from, no pun intended, from
for 30. Yeah, for 30 days.
He needs
worth
a
of the
Bible.
afterlife. Yeah, Britannica.
I bet he could even get a movie deal. That would be a crazy movie. I would watch it.
Yeah. But I'm so happy we were able to have him on. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Everyone who's listening on the podcast channels, on Apple, on Google Podcast, Amazon, all that. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit the follow button when you see us on any of the podcast listening platforms. And also head over to all our social medias. Follow us on there for all upcoming shows and news. And go and visit these guys' stuff. JK47 Paranormal Investigations and Sir Chris on Facebook. Check them out. And there you go. There's the new guy. But anyway, John, shout out your show real quick so we can get out of here.
Yeah, man. Check out Targeting with the JK47. It's on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Great show.
I do live box sessions, and then that Thursday I'll put out the best review. If you check out the last one, it's crazy. There's one response is so clear, so precise, and it bewilders me how this happened. So guys, check it out.
All right, my man. Well, until
What
next
about your
time.
Friday? What about your Friday show?
Oh shit, Fridays. Legit podcast.com. I'm on the Legit channel as well. 8:05 Mountain Time, 10:05 correct time according to King Mike, Eastern Time. I dig into live investigations. Last episode we were talking about Aleister Crowley. I wasn't able to do it in one episode, so part 2 will be this Friday. We're just now getting into where he started conjuring stuff up, and it's really weird the coincidences because he never closed the portals. That's the thing. He always said he did, but he never closed the portals, and that's when stuff started showing up. So it's interesting guy. He's an interesting guy.
Absolutely. Well, make sure to check out his shows and make sure to check out more of Talking with the Source, as we have on next week Bob Ginsberg, who is going to be another near-death experiencer, I believe. So it's going to be awesome. So check it out. But we'll see you all next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Love y'all. Love and light. Love and light.